Jessica Babington. I hope I said that correctly.
You got it.
Well? Jessica is with Trump International Realty, and we are very pleased to have Jessica with us because I've got a lot of industry questions, Jessica, I want to ask
All right,
you.
I'm ready.
But before we get started, everybody really wants to know, how did you get started in real estate? Did you just wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to be a realtor? How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people it ends up being an encore career or a second career, and for me it was a little bit that way. I started as a reinsurance broker out of college, and so I put together deals for insurance companies and really liked being a broker and an advocate for clients and putting a deal together. But I didn't like being chained to a desk and having really long hours and having to work over Christmas. And so I was looking for a way to get some flexibility in my schedule and to be an entrepreneur, as you've talked about, and having some control over that, but still get to put deals together and help people. And so it just seemed like a good fit for me.
You know, it's interesting. You said something that tells me you're probably because we don't know each other, right? I mean, we just met, right?
Right.
Everybody at the radio station loves you, just so you know that, right? Everybody was so excited that you were going to be on the show, right? Oh, she's just so wonderful. So this is the first time we've actually met, right?
Yes.
But you said something that led me to believe you're quite good realtor, and that is you absolutely see being a realtor as being self-employed. You have your own business inside of a formal structure. Talk a little bit about that, because there are a lot of people that don't understand that concept.
Right. Yeah. So I definitely am an independent contractor. I run my own business. No one is going to, push me other than myself on a day-to-day basis. And I take that very seriously. And I think you have to. I think we've been in business planning season at my office. And we talk a lot about that. You should have your own mission statement. You should have a roadmap as your own individual business. And you've got to find your why within your gut that's going to get you out of bed every morning and excited and keep you going day after day.
Okay, here's the hard question. Okay, I'm going to stump you.
Okay,
Maybe
I'm ready.
Not, maybe not. There are thousands of realtors in the area. Why am I called Jessica? Why am I going to call you at Trump National? What is it that makes you unique and different?
Yeah, so our industry is going more and more technology focused and driven, more automated, more cloud-based operations, and our firm and me personally are going the total opposite way. So we want to be service focused. I want to be in the trenches with my clients and hold their hand every step of the way and make their lives easy when it comes to real estate. I think we are, as a society, as people, we're all so busy and we're pulled in 1,000 different directions. So my job is to just get in there with you and make this part of your life as easy as possible when it can be emotional, and it's usually the largest asset you have in your life is your home. And so I think you choose me because I'm going to help try to get you to your goal and make it as easy as possible.
So walk me through what does a good client profile look like to you? You know, what would a good client look like?
Yeah, so somebody that just is looking for somebody to be an expert and to guide them. I talk about trying to have the spirit of a teacher. So I want to educate you, and I want you as a client to want to learn about what you're doing in whether it's buying or selling your home, so that at the end, at the closing table, you're confident in what you're signing or what's going on. So I want a client that wants the help and is open to suggestion, and that really could be at any price point. That's totally irrelevant. But just is excited to accept the help.
So that's interesting. You say any price point, because I noticed that obviously you're at Trump International, right? So
right.
Those are higher end homes in that area. So that was going to be my question. Do you only focus on homes in that area and in that neighborhood? How does that work?
No. So our office is located at Trump National Golf Club, Charlotte. So we certainly have a home there, and so organically we do business there, and they're our family and our community, and we love to be a part of that community. But that's not solely what we're focused on. residential real estate firm just like any other, and so we help anyone in the Lake Norman area at any price point. And I just try to emphasize that when it's luxury, we're talking about a luxury level of service. So you're going to get the same level of service irregardless of your price point, whether you're a buyer or a seller, or what neighborhood you're in. You're just going to receive the same quality level of service and attention.
Luxury level of service.
That's right.
I could make a really good ad with that. You saw my mind working, didn't you?
I sure did.
So Jessica, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Trump is the name is just polarizing right now.
Right.
You can't ignore that, right?
Right.
How has that affected y'all's business right now? Because I know this for a fact that there are a lot of business people that are afraid to engage in the name, that it may be offensive, or people would assume that you're making one point of reference or another. So that's got to be
Right.
challenging for you. How are you guys dealing with that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I joined the firm, it'll be 4 years ago in February, and 6 weeks later found out that Mr. Trump was running for office. So my timing was impeccable, and I've been through the roller coaster of that. And I think most people in our area can separate who the political figure is and the political side of the name versus the real estate side. And there's no argument that this brand has had success in real estate over a long period of time. So I think that speaks for itself. And anybody that has issue with that and can't make that separation, perhaps they're just not the right client for us. But I think in general, people know our name and can understand that from a real estate standpoint is nothing but positive.
Yeah, when I think of Trump, I think of real estate. I
Me too.
absolutely think of people that absolutely know and understand the real estate business. I don't think of Trump as a politician. It just happens to be where he is right now today. But
Right.
his background and his brand is absolutely about real estate.
That's right.
So for me, it fits well, right?
Right.
But I had to ask because I just know that comes about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question.
So let's talk a little bit about the industry, right?
Yeah.
Where is it heading? Because I've got realtors that want to break it up into segments. If it's on the water, it might be one thing's happening, and then if it's a starter home, it might be another.
Right.
And if it's new construction, it might be another.
Sure.
Walk us through some of that.
Yeah. So I think our industry, we might see a little bit of a slowdown coming into 2019. We'll see interest rates are ticking up, continuously, just slightly. We're not in any kind of panic mode, so we may see a bit of a softening. I think the lower price points, maybe under 300, even under 400, are still going to move pretty quick. There's still going to maybe be competitiveness there if it's a move-in ready home.
Right.
The luxury side, and usually, not always, but that tends to mean waterfront in our area, has not never, but in the last several years has not been quite as strong as the rest of the market, and we're probably going to continue to see that a little bit, that it just takes a bit longer for houses of that caliber to sell on average. But I'm anxious to also see for our neck of the woods, for the villas, as you call them, to see
That's from Statesville to Huntersville.
That's right. Well, what's going to happen to our villas when 77 gets finished?
Right.
Because I think we've lost some of the Charlotte commuter from a buyer standpoint, that people moving from outside of our area fly into our airport and they may get stuck on 77 and say, you know what, I'm going to live closer to Charlotte, or I'm going to live in South Carolina. So once this road gets finished, I'm very excited to see what that does for our Lake Norman market.
And I've been I think that I've been against that 77 toll from the very beginning. But
Yes.
I've always said I'm gonna be the first one to get on it and pay my money so I
Right.
can get to Charlotte. Right?
Yeah,
So,
it is what it is at this
that's
point.
Right. That's right. It's there, and I'm gonna be a guy that uses it as much as I didn't want them to build it. But I have said for years now that all of this negative commenting on the roads has really cost the area a lot of commerce, and I believe it's probably cost some real potential value in people in the market that would have considered coming to this area. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. I mean, I've seen it in practice with folks that, they have an agent that set up showings for a particular day. and then they cancel because they get stuck in traffic, or they decide, you know what, this is too,
Yeah.
just too much.
No way I'm going. I'm
That's
done.
right.
I'm turning around.
That's right.
That's disappointing to hear, because that means my assumptions are correct, that it really has already affected us in a big negative way. So the extra roads can't do anything but be positive from now.
That's right. And at least the construction being finished, will certainly help us.
And it's just dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Well, I got a buddy of mine that lived all the way out Brawley School Road, all the way to the end. This has probably been 15, 16 years ago. And it was a different world. You could
Yes.
get to Charlotte a lot quicker than you can now today,
Right.
with all of the road widenings and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's seen. I mean, it is a different world out there now than when he
Yeah.
moved out that way, I'm sure.
Yeah. So how long have you lived in the area?
I lived in Cornelius for 7 years and have been in Mooresville for 4, so 11.
That's really lucky for your husband, because I am now the best-looking man in Cornelius, you understand. So the fact that he
Right.
moved out, that's lucky for him.
Right. So as I told you earlier, now I can endorse that for you, because I wouldn't have been able to do so previously.
That's absolutely correct. So I can keep telling my wife that this is true, right? You understand that?
Sure.
Um, okay, answer a question for me.
Okay.
You used a statement, move-in ready,
Right.
right?
Yes.
I've got an older home,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I didn't buy the home because I love the home. I bought the home because I love the lot, right?
Location, location, location.
So am I better off to spend the $100,000 I need to get my home into a move-in ready, or am I better off to sell it as is and let somebody else decide what they want to do with that home? So what is that? Because it sounds like you were moving in the direction that the market is moving in the direction of move-in ready. So
Sure.
tell
Yeah.
me what your thoughts are on that.
Yes. So certainly, as I said, people are busy. They are crazy busy. So for the most part, the majority of buyers would much prefer a home that is move-in ready. They just do not have time, nor do they have the vision to try to do updates. Especially this time of the year, people that move in the wintertime usually are relocations or people that have to move. You're not moving in December, January, or February for fun. So that tends to warrant a buyer that just doesn't have time to do those updates. However, I would also caution you to speak to a professional and make sure you're not overspending on your particular home. I would hate to see you put $100,000 into your home when the comparable sales around your area don't warrant that additional money. Maybe you need to spend $10,000 and just do some smart upgrades, change your countertops, paint your cabinets, maybe change out some flooring, that sort of thing that can make a huge impact. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gut job.
Okay, well, you went right to my next question. What are the things you would recommend for people to do if they want to make some changes to their
Yeah.
home? Because I had a buddy of mine who's selling his home at the point, and the realtor came to him and wanted him to spend like $40,000.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Gosh, Joe, if I'm gonna spend $40,000, I might as well stay here."
Right.
So there's got to be this level of comfort for a seller
Yes.
that isn't ridiculous, and putting more cash into a home you're trying to get out of is just
Right.
always uncomfortable.
Right. I would say, the old thing, kitchens and bathrooms. I don't think you need to go crazy. The trends right now are things like a white kitchen. So if your cabinets are of a natural color, perhaps you could just paint them white. That helps, and that's not a super expensive thing to do. Changing out a kitchen countertop or even just changing your backsplash makes a big difference. So if that's a darker color, maybe making that a lighter color. Refinishing hardwood floors if they're of a lighter color, maybe going more of a medium color, not going anything too trendy, but just something that might be a little more up to date helps a lot. People get intimidated by refinishing floors.
So my basement, I got to take the Panther colors off the walls. Is that what I got to do?
Yes, that's right.
Jessica Babington. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
If somebody wants to reach you, how could they reach you?
Yeah, so they can search for our company's website. They can go to trumpinternationalrealty.com and then search for Charlotte, or they can call us at our office. It's 704-799-0700.
Jessica, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you. It's been so fun.